What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, it's wonderful to see you. I hope that you are having a phenomenal day. I just want to take a quick moment at the start of this video to say a huge thank you to everyone for the well wishes when I had surgery last week. So I am recording this video after my surgery. As you can imagine, I haven't really been able to do much content. I'm still in a ton of pain, and even doing this video is definitely not feeling my best, but really wanted to get something out this week, especially with the topic of this video, because it is kind of time sensitive. So had to grind, had to push forward, had to knock one video out for you guys. But just wanted to say thanks, because so many people were incredibly supportive and kind in my YouTube comments and in the Discord and everything else. And just want to let you know the surgery went well. So now it's on to recovery. And if you've ever had a surgery, I've had 9. If you've ever had a surgery, you know the recovery is the worst part, because that's when you're hurting the most. But hopefully in the next week or two, I will be back to normal and back to doing content consistently and back to hopefully streaming consistently. We'll see how I recover, but that is a quick update for you guys on that. And speaking of quick updates, it's time to talk about Dry January, baby. We are now in February. Dry January is over. I want to talk about how it went, what the response from the community was, my thoughts, and then as well as what I'm going to do going forward, which I will reveal that at the end of the video. But first and foremost, let's just talk about the response, because I've never made a video in Raid Shadow Legends that had as many reactions as my Dry January video did. And really, like, reactions from the community, of course, people were very polarized about it and had very strong opinions, but then also reactions from other creators. And I watched many of them, Cold Brew, Boozer, J Gigs. It was interesting to hear their thoughts on what I was doing and why I was doing it, and whether I'd be successful and all the other things. So yeah, it was really interesting to hear the thoughts, and they had some good points and some points maybe I didn't agree with, but all in all, I would say most people reacted to my desire to do Dry January positively, which was nice to see. And I think it's important to talk about why I did it, right? You know, I explained in my last video, so I'm not going to recap it too hard here, but I'm just going to say, like, I did this for me, man. I did this for me. I did this out of a sense of frustration with Raid. I did this to, I think, bring more awareness to problems in the game. I'm positive the developers saw that video, especially since Ash jumped aboard as well. And I know he's done his own kind of deconstruction of what his thoughts on Dry January were, but I'll just tell you up front, man, you know what? For me, it was a smashing success. And really, the number one reason why is, you know, I've had this account for close to 4 years now. There has never been a moment in this game on my main account where I have not spent some form of cash for more than a month. That's just like the honest to God truth. And it was really, really, really nice to just remind myself that I don't need to spend in this game to enjoy it. I think it's so easy to get caught up in wanting to get every champion and wanting to have the #1 overall arena team, which requires spending. No matter how smart of a player you are, you have to spend, and you have to pray for good RNG, of course. But it was just a really nice thing for me personally to take a month off, and really realistically more than a month, because I stopped spending at the beginning of December, like December 9th or 10th. So it's been close to 2 months now with me not spending. And frankly, it was great. It was great. And look, I'm not under any illusion that one big spender choosing not to spend is going to suddenly fix everything that's broken in Raid. Of course it's not. But here's what I'll say did happen. It did spur a conversation with developers to specifically talk to some of the creators in the community. Now, I wasn't included in that. Surprise, surprise. I'm not actually surprised that I wasn't included, because I've never been included in those conversations directly with the developers. You know, maybe that changes in the future, because I'd love to give them honest, genuine, constructive feedback, not in a video format. But it was nice to hear when I watched Ash's video that some of the large creators, I'm sure Scratch, Ash, etc., were, you know, included in the conversation. And it sounded like the outcome of that conversation was a genuine desire to try to actually implement quality of life changes that myself, other creators in the community have basically begged for, in some cases for months and even years. Now, whether or not that actually happens and whether that changes, who knows? Who knows? I'm encouraged to see some quality of life things start to arrive, and I really hope that there is a dedicated focus on that going forward, but time will tell. So, all that being said, I personally am very happy that I did it, and I don't look at it as a failed thing whatsoever because of what I got out of it and what I hope the community gets out of it. And I know a lot of other people jumped on board with me and decided not to spend, and who knows whether or not it actually made a real impact on Raid's bottom line. Who knows? Who cares? The important thing was it made an impact on me. Now, I think the other thing to talk about is, did I actually not spend the entire month? And the answer is, of course, I did not spend the entire month. I did a video where I won Cheshire Cat, and some dumbass clearly didn't even watch the video and was like, oh, it looks like the spending's back. It's like, dude, I say in the first 2 minutes of that video that I was able to win that because I got an easy group, and I basically yeeted every single mystery shard that I had. I had over 10,000 mystery shards. You can see I'm definitely low on resources now, right? 2 months of not spending is going to get you low on resources. There's barely any energy left. There's not a lot of silver. I have some gems, which certainly helps. But now the real fun begins, right? Now the real fun begins. And to that point, I've decided I'm going to do another month. Could I start spending again right now? Sure. Do I really want to? No, I'm good for the moment. Here's the thing. At some point, I'm going to have to put money back into the game. And I'll tell you the reasons why. One, from a content creation side of what I do and why people watch my channel, not spending screws my content. That is the honest to God truth here. The videos, if you look back, that do the best on my channel are always showcase videos where I take a champion that I have actually gotten and I put them in endgame gear and I show them off. Like, they are overwhelmingly the videos that do the best for me. And that's really important if I want to keep content creating. The other aspect to consider, and I talked about this in my last video, is I'm in an endgame clan. I'm in a clan that aspires and currently is, I believe, the #1 ranked clan in Raid. And here's the reality. You don't get to be in these clans if you're not spending. It's just not possible. The closest was someone like Shinny, right? And he got booted out of Mad because they really wanted to focus on endgame content and endgame performance. And that requires spending some amount of cash. So I'm going to do this for another month, though, because I think it's fun to be at this point where I'm definitely low on resources, and to go another month and see how far we can push it. And here's the other thing, too, to the content creators who were like, oh, I don't know if Drock can do this. Guys, you got to remember, I came in third in last year's free-to-play competition in Hell Hades. I clearly know how to play a free-to-play account. In fact, I've continued playing my other free-to-play account for over a year. I'm going to do an update video on that soon when I'm feeling a little bit better and not in so much pain. It made me laugh when I saw people be like, oh, I don't know if he can do it. Like, guys, I can play a free-to-play account. It's a matter of, do I want to? And does it benefit my content? And is it the right choice for me as a creator? And the answer is, it's not long-term. Some form of spending is necessary for me to continue doing the kind of content that I want to do. However, do I need to spend the amount that I was spending previously? Absolutely not. And the one thing I can tell you and I can guarantee is I will never spend on this game the way that I did before. That is a 1,000,000% guarantee. I'll never hit those levels again, barring something crazy like where I just win the lottery and I just don't give a shit about money at all anymore. I don't regret it, because realistically I wouldn't have the platform I have as a creator, and I wouldn't have gotten to this point without spending. The whole reason why people started watching me stream or watching my content was because I was an endgame player. That is factual. That's real. And although a lot of people are entertained when I get on and I do my streams or whatever else, the reality is it's really tough to get eyeballs in any type of game and to stand out. And though I would argue that I think I'm a pretty entertaining, funny guy, there's a big difference between someone who has basically most of the champions, super endgame gear, and is competing at like that top 100, top 10 at one point level of live arena. It's just more fun to watch, at least in my opinion. So anyway, that's kind of a general overview here. I am really happy that I did Dry January. I got a lot out of it. And it really helped me to just remember, like, look, you don't have to spend money in Raid to have fun, you know? And for this last year that I've done free to play, that's been one of the most enjoyable experiences in Raid. Um, I still hope that a lot of the things I talked about in that last video happen. I really hope that we get major live arena improvements. And look, I did a whole video on this too, talking about developer feedback. At least, at least they're willing to have communication with us. And I know that sounds ridiculous as a win, but frankly, that's a big change from the last several years of playing Raid. Think about how many times the community has brought things up that it fell on deaf ears and it wasn't even acknowledged. Well, at least now they're acknowledging it. Do they fix the things in the timeline that I would love to see? Probably not. You know, do they fix all the things or make all the changes that I would agree with? Probably not. But if we get even a quarter or a half of the stuff that I've talked about in previous videos in the next 6 months to a year, given what we've gone through with Raid in the past, to me, I'm happy with that. You know, that's a major improvement. And again, you know, anything that I say about this game that is negative comes from a place of passion, comes from a place of knowing how it could be improved, knowing how it could be made better, and just wanting it to happen, right? Anytime that somebody, you know, whether they stop spending because they're frustrated and talk about it, or whether they talk about a mechanic in the game like polymorph, whatever else it may be that matters to them, it's because they love the game and they want to see it fixed. And I think that gets lost a lot of times in comments where it's like, cry more, or you like to complain. Well, yeah, man, because if I don't, it never gets addressed. If people didn't talk about Hydra being unfun to play after the recent changes, guess what? It wouldn't change again. It wouldn't have, you know, any opportunity to be fixed or addressed. The only way that stuff changes is by people speaking up. That's it. People speaking up, people stop spending, people stop playing. Those are the three options to affect change in Raid. Now, I don't want to stop playing because I'm a content creator and I've built a business off of this, right? Like other content creators have. And I certainly don't want to leave the community because that's part of what makes me enjoy Raid. The clan, the people I talk to, you know, the shooting the shit with your buddies, whatever else. That's part of the fun of playing a game like this. So realistically, my only option was to cut back on spending. And again, I've done that and I'm happy with it. I'm going to do it again for the month of February. We're going to have no spend February for me personally. I'm excited about that. And then in March, I'll probably come back to spending a small amount on Raid. You know, think maybe the energy packs or, you know, the gems, you know, maybe a forge pass. But one thing I can guarantee you're never going to see on this channel again is probably a 500 shard opening video. I don't think that's ever going to happen. So if you've ever want to watch that content, just go back in the Wayback Machine and take a look at when I opened 700 shards for Taurus or 800 shards for Georgia or whatever the hell else I was doing. Without doing that, I wouldn't be where I'm at. But going forward, I think I have enough stuff in the game to where I can still stay interesting from an end game perspective without having to break the bank. At least that's my hope. We'll see. You'll be the judge. I'll still do champion showcases. I'll still put on end game gear. I'll still put energy into farming stuff. I'll still try to do those videos where I put a bunch of energy in and I roll a bunch of crap and we all cry together because this game is rigged in that regard. But hey, it makes for great content. So hopefully that answers some questions. Hopefully that lets you know where I've been and what's been up with me. And again, you know, here's to hoping and here's to manifesting, I guess, that Raid improves, that Raid gets better. There's a reason we're all here. There's a reason we watch these videos. It's because we fell in love with this game and maybe got a little addicted at points, but we fell in love with this game. I still think that this is potentially one of the best, well, it is the best mobile RPG I've ever played. And I really hope that the developers learn a lot of lessons from other games that have come out recently, specifically King Arthur, and they incorporate those things into this game so I can continue playing it. But just wanted to make this video to talk about where I'm at, talk about how things went, and hopefully this sheds some light on everything. But yes, at the end of the day, your boy has been no spend on this account for close to 2 months, and it's going to be fun to get to another third month. We'll see what kind of resources we have left at the conclusion of that. So anyway, I'm really happy I did it. I hope if you did it as well, that it was beneficial for you. I hope that it reframed some aspect of spending in Raid. It's very easy to get caught up in this game. Clearly, I have in the past, and I'm sure other people have as well. I've heard the stories. So yeah, hopefully if you joined me on this, that you got something out of it like I did. But for me, dry January, a massive W. I would do it again in a heartbeat. And oh wait, I kind of already am. It's dry February, baby. Dry February, boys. Welcome in. We're still not done for at least another month. So guys, thanks as always for the support. Thank you again for the incredibly kind messages. Going to try to recover from this surgery as quickly as possible. Boy, does being in pain suck. And if you're dealing with health stuff, just know that I know what you're going through, and I'm sending you some love and I'm sending you support, because God knows that's the only way you get through it. I've had enough health things to last a lifetime, whatever. So anyway, that's all. Love you all. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, you know the deal. Normal YouTuber bullshit right now. But anyway, I will catch you all soon. It might be a couple days, a week before I make another video. It really, as you can tell, I'm probably a little lower energy than normal, but it's because I'm in a shit ton of pain. So I love y'all. Catch y'all later. If you watch the whole video, comment the word. Only if you watch the whole video, comment the word. Let's go with freedom today, because I'm in a Braveheart mood, and I love that movie. Yeah, freedom, Braveheart. If you also like Braveheart, let me know in the comments down below. Such a good movie. Anyway, catch y'all later, and Big Baba Drock.